My girlfriend, 26F, did something that made me, 32M, question everything about her. What should I do? Hello. I am not sure if this is the appropriate platform to discuss this matter, but I feel compelled to seek advice regarding a sensitive situation.
My girlfriend, with whom I have been in a relationship for over a year, unfortunately lost her father 8 months ago.
Since then, she has been struggling to cope with the loss and has declined professional treatment after attending only 2 sessions.
Her emotional state deeply concerns me.
This morning, I received a WhatsApp message from a number that I did not recognize.
The message read, "I am glad I met you.
I know you love my daughter as much as I do, and I kindly request that you look after her and take care of her." The message was sent from her father's phone number, which made me feel quite uneasy.
It seemed as if her late father was communicating with me directly. I am unsure whether my reaction is justified or if I am overthinking the situation. I would greatly appreciate your insights on this matter. Should I be concerned about this occurrence, or is it something that I should consider as completely normal? Since this happened, I have been thinking deeply if I should continue my relationship with her. Text back, if only she would allow me to help by accepting therapy.
Woo! I think you won the award for the week's weirdest story on this thread. Definitely didn't expect this. Welp, I dunno. This is a toughie. Are you sure it was her that sent it and not another relative like her mom or something?
Kind of evidence of a psychotic break otherwise, like a really scary one. I'm confused right now.
The guy's dead. Do you know who texted you from his number?
Dude, she is not okay. That is a very, very odd thing to do. You may want to talk to her mother and get her thoughts on how to handle it. Losing a parent is incredibly hard and she is not handling it in a constructive manner. Hi. I'm also a bipolar schizo. She's having a full-on psychotic break, which can feel like she's playing manipulative games, but she isn't really doing it on purpose. That isn't an excuse for her behavior though, just an explanation. Without medication, no amount of therapy will fix this. She needs both. If she refuses treatment, I'd recommend leaving her. There's almost no possibility of having a healthy relationship without medical intervention, and since she's over 18, you really can't force her to do anything. Is there anyone else from her family that you can talk to about your concerns? Her mom, siblings, aunts or uncles?
Husband, 36M, has become close to coworker, 25F, and I, 37F, feel jealous. How do I handle this? My husband is a very fun guy.
He's nice, and is always cracking jokes.
That's his personality with everyone.
Recently he has started mentioning Sarah.
Apparently they have been working together for 2 years, but over the past 2 months I've heard her name come up often. Sarah told me about this place we could go to for date night, or, Sarah suggested trying this recipe, and he actually made it.
I have looked through their messages and it's simple things like, "There's donuts in the office. Do you have the file from Monday?" But what was off to me was he mentioned he had already eaten when I was planning on making dinner. I asked why. He said he, Sarah and another coworker grabbed lunch. I went to his job to say hello, honestly to see how the environment was, and she was there, in his office. I wish I didn't see her. She's ethnic and has a very curvy body. The outfit she was wearing as well was just pushing the boundaries of professional. I am not going to lie, I'm not a very secure person as you can likely gauge from this post, but actually seeing her made it 10x worse. When he saw me he looked very shocked, but introduced us and she told me I was so much prettier in person. I asked what they were talking about and they both started laughing and he went, "Just everyday BS, I'll tell you later." There is even a birthday card from her on his desk. I feel like I'm going insane. I know insecurity has a lot to do with it. I've spoken to my husband about his relationship with Sarah, and he stated they're just platonic work friends and she's too young for him anyway. I'm not saying I'm this ugly beast, or that I don't find myself attractive. We are just completely different vibes and that may seem enticing. He stated that if his work relationship with Sarah makes me uncomfortable, he can stop being so friendly but has to work with her in group settings. How should I approach this? Why is ethnic relevant? Just wondering. I feel like it's kind of weird to say to someone that they look so much prettier in person. Feels a bit rage baity with the whole comments about her being ethnic, curvy and therefore dressing unprofessionally. Hope it's fake because come on.
Lol, I'm reading all these comments in case I'm ever in this situation. My husband is pretty liable and jokes around. But he's a manager, so he cannot have close relationships with females. There's only 3 he manages and they're all older than him, by a lot. The comment op mentioned, she's too young for me. Why would he even say that?
I mean, he should say he'd never be interested because he has the woman he wants. I know you say your husband is very friendly. So I assume he has a lot of male colleagues he's friends with.
Does he talk about them as much as he talks about Sarah? Does he normally have lunch with other coworkers? Also, were they sitting next to each other?
Was the door closed?
Was it a good shock?
As in, I'm happy to see you. Or oh shit, I've been caught doing something bad shocked? What was her initial reaction when you walked in?
The only thing that really stood out as kinda weird to me was the fact that he didn't want to include you in the conversation when you asked what they were talking about. You need to talk with your husband about boundaries with co-workers because it's very dangerous for him to got that close to her. It's not about jealousy but respect some limit of link because she is just a person he work with, not a friend. Deep connection can create emotional affair, so he need to be in guard before he allows something stupid that will ruin both of you. I encourage counseling to be able to communicate by seeing each other perspectives, build strong boundaries and improve on being better partner to each other.
Also spend more time together, dates, activities, reconnect emotionally, physically and sensually. Sexology books are good. My boyfriend 24 male lied to me 28 female about health issues.
Should I break up with him?
I'm new here so please bear with me.
I, 28F, have known my boyfriend, 24M, for 3 years.
We were just friends at first and been seriously dating for the past 4 months.
We are part of the same social circle and share a lot of friends. Let's get to the point. The first time we slept together, we used a condom. I noticed little bumps on his genital area and even without asking, he told me straight away that he had them his whole life and I shouldn't be worried. At the beginning of our relationship we had the conversation about who've you slept with, because again we are part of the same social group.
He said 2 names of our friends group, which I was fine with.
I would have been fine with any names and number. I am not one to judge.
Fast forward few weeks later we had our first intimate contact without protection. It was great, I didn't think of it in any negative way.
Before we had it I asked him specifically if he had sex without a condom with anyone in the past year and he said no.
I asked him if he has any health complaints and he said no.
The next day we were having dinner and randomly talking when he slipped in the conversation that he had sex with another girl whom he didn't tell me about.
I was a bit taken aback but thought he maybe had forgotten about it when I first asked him. I then asked, is there more that I should know about? He then said 5 more names. I asked if he had sex without protection with any of them and he said no, again. I pressed the matter more and he then admitted to having sex without protection with all of them but said that he thought that if it is only for once and for a short time it didn't count. I was in complete shock. I then had to ask again if he lied to me about anything else. That's when he admitted the bumps on his genital area were warts of HPV, human papillomavirus. My heart dropped.
I know that it is a common virus, I know how it spreads and I know what it can cause. We had the conversation then and there where he apologized and said that he was afraid to tell me and afraid to go to the doctor.
I forgave him.
But few months later I can't stop thinking about it.
He lied to me and knowingly put my health at risk of contracting the virus because he was scared. I'm going to the gyno in few days to get checked about HPV. I'm going now cause since we started having sex I've been having a lot of gynecological problems that needed sorting first.
I've always been a big supporter of doing the necessary to stay healthy and be responsible for yours and your partner's well-being when it comes to sexual contact.
I feel really bad and a bit betrayed. Overall, he is a really sweet and gentle guy. I feel bad about the girls he slept with and didn't say anything about his condition.
I don't know how to manage this situation.
Am I being too harsh and judgmental? Is he too young to know better?
Should I say something to the other girls? I don't know what to do, so I am here begging for your advice.
No way in hell you're being too harsh. I would have ended that shit so fast. He's a proven liar. He's not going to magically stop lying about things. And this, kids, is why you always insist on testing, especially if you plan to ditch the condoms.
It doesn't fix him lying or failing to take responsibility for his own health, both of which are valid reasons not to continue dating or sleeping with him, but at least you wouldn't be stuck with the consequences.
He knowingly put your health at risk. He's shown you he will lie to your face to get what he wants. Get to the doctor. Consider filing charges against him. Drop him like the lying creep he is.
This is vile. He wasn't too scared to say something, he wanted to hit it raw. He could have still had sex with you with protection.
Although even that would have been wrong without informing you, but the fact that he did without protection is disgusting and disturbing. He knowingly and purposefully put your health at risk and blatantly lied repeatedly.
He also put other women's health at risk and lied. That isn't a sweet guy at all, that's a man who values sex, using your body over even your safety.
Fucking disgusting. There is no way you stay with him and respect yourself or your health.
HPV is linked to increased risk of developing cervical cancer.
The association is well documented. Look into the HPV vaccine and ask your doctor if you can benefit from it. What he did was wrong and I'm sure criminal.
You're not in the wrong here at all.
Edit.
I should add that a pap smear is going to be beneficial also.
Link for more reading. This is serious.
The question isn't whether you should ditch him, it's whether you should bring it to the attention of law enforcement.
Recently found out my 29F husband, 29M, hired an escort. What should I do? I'm posting this for advice because I'm feeling overwhelmed and unsure of what to do. My husband and I have been together for almost a decade and recently got married. I found out that he hired an escort. It was out of pure coincidence I even found out about it, and I'm still in shock and struggling to process it all. From what I understand, he didn't go through with it all. He met up with the escort but didn't follow through, but it's still leaving me questioning everything.
Especially since he initially denied all this happened when I first confronted him.
We've had a few issues in the past related to his behavior on social media, such as following and saving pictures of Instagram models and subscribing to an account. We talked about these instances and he promised he wouldn't engage in such activities again, which I believe he hasn't since. However, this situation with the escort feels like a new and much more significant breach of trust. He explained that his actions were a result of feeling sexually frustrated, as we hadn't been intimate recently due to my period and the last time we were intimate was a little over 2 weeks ago. Has always said sex is just sex for him and doesn't involve feelings, whereas I see it differently and consider it an important emotional connection. I'm deeply conflicted because, despite our history and recent marriage, I've always believed that infidelity or crossing boundaries like this is a deal-breaker for me. I'm embarrassed and unsure if I can ever move past this. I haven't shared this with any friends or family and wanted an unbiased opinion. He suggested couples therapy and promised he'll do anything I want to get past this, but I'm torn between working through this or walking away. Too long did not read. Found out my husband hired an escort but didn't go through with it. I'm unsure if I should try couples therapy or end the relationship. Looking for advice on how to handle this situation.
He said he didn't go through with it and you believe that? A few questions. How do you know he didn't go through with it all? And additionally, if this is what he does, if there's 2 weeks without sex, what happens if you get sick? What about if you have children and need to abstain after delivery? What if you're injured in a way that you have to pause having sex for a while? How long will it take him to revert to escorts or other methods? Lady, he went through with it 100%. You said yourself, sex to him does not involve feelings and he paid for it anyway. There is no doubt in my soul that he so-called didn't go through with it. He did. Get yourself tested. Get all the proof you need and get a good lawyer. This should 100% be a deal-breaker for you. How do you know he didn't go through with it? Does this guy not know how to masturbate? 2 weeks without sex and he's calling hookers? He should be in the middle of newlywed bliss and he's cheating. I think he's a loser. Sorry. He feels sexually frustrated for 2 weeks to the point he has the need to hire escort? This is ridiculous. What will it be when you give birth and you can't have sex for months? He's gonna open his own striptease club maybe. I don't know, neither do you. Go to therapy. Either way you gonna fix it or have the moral support to leave. Take care. He lied 100%. He went through with it. Get an STD test and speak to a divorce lawyer.